Learning how to play jazz can be a super rewarding experience. But let's be real, it can also be quite frustrating and quite overwhelming. Hey, it's Tim Whalen Jazz Lessons. Welcome back. Happy New Year. I've been away for a few weeks, but now I'm back. And I just wanted to talk today about some of the challenges we face when we're trying to learn how to play this music. So sit back, maybe take some notes, and hopefully get a little inspiration or even just some comfort in knowing that you're not alone in this pursuit. But before I dive in, if you haven't done so, check out my Jazz Warmups and Etudes package. It's a set of 4 etudes based on tune-up, the blues, rhythm changes, and autumn leaves. And it'll improve your technique, your rhythm, transposition, expand your vocabulary. They're really great. Etudes are a great way to integrate new language into your playing, and it kind of helps with all aspects of musicality. So go ahead and click the link in the description, and I hope you get a lot out of it. So why is jazz hard to learn? I'm going to offer some reasons that I think maybe it is this way for people, and some suggestions and some fixes maybe to help ease your road and give you some ideas of maybe to see that maybe it isn't as hard as you think. I'd like to put a disclaimer on the word hard. I don't think hard is the right word. I don't really think anything is really hard. Sure, there's hard things. Climbing Mount Everest, that's probably pretty hard. Or being an Ironman athlete, that's hard. Or doing a marathon. But when we're talking about learning music or learning some sort of endeavor with our mind or our fingers or whatever it may be, I think something to think about as a general philosophy would be that it's not familiar rather than it's hard. And if you just think that way, I think it makes learning a little bit less overwhelming. You know, you may not be able to play giant steps, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily hard. It just means that you haven't experienced playing it, so it's not familiar. But if you played giant steps and practiced it for a year, it's not going to be as hard because you're familiar with it. So just think about that little shift in perspective. So the first one, there's an overload of information. Technology now, YouTube, streaming, just having access to really anything we want. It's a blessing and a curse. So you have all of this information coming at you. It's like, where do I start? I got to learn this scale, got to learn this chord, got to learn this transcription, got to learn all these tunes. It's kind of never ending. Makes you feel like you're drowning. Forget all that information. A way to alleviate some of this is when you are practicing, set an intention for each practice session, no matter how long it is. If you got 10 minutes, set an intention for 10 minutes and then practice with laser focus. I like to call this awareness practice. It's simple. The minute you start playing and the minute you can't do something, stop. Work on executing that idea and then try to put it back into your playing. The fact that you tried to play it, it means that you want to play it. It could be literally a 3-note little scale and you couldn't do it. Work on that. What this does is it builds little victories over time, and little victories stack up to big progress. So don't think you have to climb Mount Rushmore in one practice session. Do a little bit at once. Bill Evans called this practicing the minimum. Pick one little thing and master it. Another way that will help with this is to be really organized when you practice, okay? Make your goals very attainable and small. So what would be a win in the next 30 minutes? That's a good question to ask yourself. Second reason, there's a lot of bad advice out there. There just is. There's a lot of great advice out there. There's a lot of great information out there, but there's also not the best information out there. And some misguided advice and misguided ways of teaching can really steer somebody down a wrong path that could really set them back decades. So be selective about your resources. Learn from trusted teachers and great players. And really, you can't go wrong learning a solo, a voicing, or learning from recordings of the masters. But be very discerning about who you get your information from. And just trust your instincts and ask. Ask questions. Another thing that makes it feel hard is you feel like you have to know how to do everything. It's easy to feel like you need to master every aspect of jazz to be good enough. But here's a spoiler alert. Even the legends didn't, or the ones that are still alive, don't know everything. Think about this. Charlie Parker, John Coltrane, Keith Jarrett, Chick Corea, Michael Brecker. The list goes on and on. Rini Rosnes, Rachel Z, Melissa Aldana. They can't play every style known on planet Earth. They can't play every single thing. So why are you telling yourself that you have to do that? So a fix. Find the things and strengths and interests that resonate with you. It's okay to say, I'm not really good at stride piano. That's me. And it doesn't really resonate with me as a player. So why would I spend all of this time trying to become a stride piano player? Is it because I'm supposed to? No, you're not supposed to do anything. You're supposed to do what feels right for you. It doesn't mean that there aren't things that we need to know how to do. The blues is a good thing to know how to do. Playing rhythm changes as some keys is good to do. But it doesn't mean you have to play everything and master everything. I think that message can be a huge reason why this is like so overwhelming. So just keep that in mind. I think another real reason why this music can be hard to learn is learning this music is not a straight line. It's not a checklist. It's not, okay, if I do this and this and this and this and this, then I'll be a jazz master. No, I mean, there are certainly things that could be the case, but you don't start here and then just go along this path and then you're there. This path is not this. The path of learning this music, it's like this. It's like if you drew it out, it would look like a Jackson Pollock painting, okay? So try not to get worried too much if you kind of started here and then all of a sudden it's like, well, wait, now I'm over here and now what happened to this over here? And now I'm doing this thing here. And it's like, it sometimes can feel like you're not being organized or it's kind of random. But sometimes that's what happens. Sometimes our journey takes us here and we're working on a certain type of playing, but then we kind of abandon this over here. That's okay. I promise you, if you stay patient, it will start to come together. It will start to make sense. Dots will get connected. So just stay patient. This is a deep music. It takes patience. It takes time. So just remember that things will not go in a straight line, and that's okay. So what should you focus on? That's a pretty big question, but despite all of these challenges, there are a few essential things I think every jazz musician should practice. If you commit to these, you will improve. I did make a video about this. I think it was called 11 Essential Skills as a Jazz Musician. You can check that out. That gives you some ideas. But if you focused on these things, I think you would improve. I think it's important to play the blues. The blues is everywhere in the music, even in some super modern stuff. The elements of the blues are there. Phrasing, groove, harmony. That's one of the big foundations, if not the foundation. I would work on rhythm changes. Being fluent in rhythm changes can help with fluency in other progressions and other tunes, okay? I'd always continually practicing common song forms, jazz standards, American Songbook. The reason those tunes are so integrated into this music is they're great vehicles for learning how to play. And then I would just say that you should work on some core skills. You should try to transcribe something every day or at least a few times a week, even if it's small phrases. You don't have to do full solos. Work on your time. Work on your rhythm. Groove is non-negotiable. It's got to be there. And work on transposition. Transposition will open up. It's like It's like the world opens up. If you focus on these things, I think you'll see some meaningful progress. And that could be a place to start. Yes, jazz is hard. Learning this music is hard, but learning things that have depth and meaning take time, patience, and perseverance. But that's what makes this beautiful. The challenges of this music, they force you to grow. They force you to listen deeply. They force you to work on ways of becoming a best version of yourself. You can learn about life through playing this music. So practice one thing at a time, small. Stay patient. Make the process fun. Try to treat it like a game. Chick Corea said something once that really resonated with me. He always thought of composition and practicing and playing music like playing a game. I mean, what a great way to think about it. And also remember, every great musician started somewhere. Everybody had to start somewhere. Charlie Parker had to learn how to play that saxophone, learn how to find the note on it, like find that one note on the horn without it squeaking before he could do what he ended up doing. So just remember that. And lastly, remember that I am here with you. I'm here to help. I'm on this journey with you. I've got a laundry list of things I need to work on. And I'm not going to be here to try to have this unvarnished way that I am. You're going to see me with blemishes and make mistakes and all of that because I want you to know that you're not alone. And we're on this together. We're on this path together. So I hope this was somewhat helpful. I'm going to turn the rambling off here and let you get on with your day, but I'm glad to be back, and I'll see you in the next video. And go do some good practicing. See you soon.